Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey, y'all. It's me, Tamara. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the show. This is definitely going to be a short episode because I have Zaire in one arm. I don't know. I was holding him earlier. He was going to sleep to take a nap. He went to sleep. He had been asleep for a while. I laid him down, left the room, came back. He was awake and kind of fussy, wanting to be held. Clearly still sleepy, but for whatever reason, he does not want to just go back to sleep. And originally the plan was to record this while he was sleeping, but here we are. I did ask him if he wanted to be on the show, but unfortunately he declined. So maybe in the future we can get him on. But I just wanted to talk about a couple of things real quick. Just kind of some observations and things I've learned this week. So one of the things that I have learned is that it is okay. It is really okay if you used to be okay with something and you are no longer okay with it and you no longer tolerate it anymore. And it's okay to establish that boundary and communicate it, and don't let anyone make you feel guilty or whatever because you have grown or you have whatever happened to make it where you're no longer okay with that. That's okay, right? We're allowed to change our minds. We're allowed to grow. We are allowed to evolve. And really, we should always be evolving and growing and all those things. So it is okay if something you used to allow, this could be literally anything. It's okay if you're no longer okay with it. And here's the thing, the people that are actually your people, they'll be okay with it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying if it's something that's going to be harmful to somebody else or whatever, like, obviously we're not talking about that. But like, let's say there are things that maybe you used to joke about that it bothers you and you're no longer okay with that. That's okay. You know what I mean? And then here's the thing too that I really learned is that, man, you really, like, sometimes we see people with rose-colored glasses, and this is why I'm always an advocate of doing things slowly. Like, yeah, sometimes you do have to just make a move, but there are a lot of times that I feel like people move too fast on, and I'm not really talking relationships, I'm talking anything. There are a lot of times that people move way too fast, and I have always seen it to be true that when people move too fast, they miss something. And so, like, don't be out here moving so slow that you're stagnant and you're not doing anything. But at the same time, don't be out here Speedy Gonzalez either. Like, slow down, pay attention, peep the scene, all that good stuff, because sometimes we see people, situations, opportunities, whatever, with rose-colored glasses. And then once those are removed and you start seeing the person, the opportunity, the situation, whatever, for what it really is, sometimes it's really disheartening. But at the same time, it's okay if you have gone slow to kind of pay attention and kind of see things out before you just jump into stuff. I think this is extremely true with relationships personally. But, you know, at the same time, I've been single for a long time, so I don't actually have relationship advice to offer. But what I will say is not being in a rush has saved me a lot of heartache that was unnecessary because I didn't rush into something. And like, time will tell and people will show you who they are. Sometimes they show you immediately, but you try to like rationalize and justify things and maybe even settle. And I just really got this revelation this week that like I've been single for so long and I'm very content with like my life and all of that as is, that if you're not adding to my life and I'm going to have to compromise in ways that I really don't want to, then I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. We should have the ability and we should want to compromise as needed in relationships. But I'm just thinking like, if there are non-negotiables that you have, don't waver on that just because you want somebody to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, and we know those that listen and have listened for a while, yes, I definitely desire to be in a relationship. But at the same time, it's kind of like, like I said, I like my life. I wouldn't even say I just like it. I love my life. I love what I get to do for my job. Things are more settled as far as like home, because I was kind of like in a season of transition for about a little over a year. So that was, that was all right, but I'm glad that's over. So like life is good. You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting here recording a podcast episode on my day off and I'm holding my grandson who I get to not only just watch, but live with when he's with his mom, and like getting to just see him kind of like get older and his personality and get to like build a stronger bond with me. Like I love that. You know what I'm saying? My job, I love what we get to do, and I'm continuing to grow and just kind of understand and have a greater, I guess we'll say overall perspective. That's not the right phrase, but like just kind of have a better grasp on all the things that really can just help the team move forward. It's so funny. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday where I used to be the project manager, and that's very heavy on like deadlines and making sure things get done and completed, whatever our deliverables are by the time that that deadline comes, if not earlier. Then I became the marketing director. So what I realized happened, and it wasn't intentionally, but it's like the project manager hat and all that, just I turned that off and shifted to marketing. And what I've learned in the last, month or so is just really how much I need to lead my team to help us, not only just meet our deadlines, but also do things excellently. So like thinking about all of the things that are going to help make it really easier for, we'll say, the video director or the photographer or somebody to just focus on what they need to do and what they do well that I can't do. And me making sure like, okay, shoots are scheduled, talent is communicated to, okay, what are maybe props we need or just whatever, just all those things, making sure we have the shoot location, determined. And it's cool because once you get those things down, because it's definitely been learning a lot of that as I go. So once I've gotten those things down, then I'm noticing I'm getting opportunities to like think about other things, because those things have become more like, okay, I have a system. I know this is what I need to do and whatever. So then it's like, okay, what are some other things and ways that I can help, and just really building systems for things. So it's been really, really cool to tap back into that, because I haven't really done that in a while. You know what I mean? Because I just was really spent the first year of my role really just learning my role, which I told my boss, I'm like, I learn as I go. And you typically, once we do something a way, one time, I'm going to remember, but it's when we would come up against new things or just not even fully really thinking in my role the way that I should, and I would more so say not owning all the things that I really needed to own, not from like abdicating responsibility, but more so just not having a full understanding of like what it looks like to own my role. And I've really grasped that more. I've seen in the last month just the way I'm able to shift more towards planning more in the future instead of planning something like the next thing. It's like looking at the calendar and thinking, okay, we may be done with this project, but this is coming up in the future. So like, let's go ahead and get on that. So that's been really cool. And yeah, it's just been a really, really interesting week because I've found myself really having, and it's weird because it's been with all men that these interactions have happened where like, and it's not necessarily work related, but I say that just because I do work with a lot of men, but it's just been really interesting where I've had these interactions with just random different men where like I've really found myself holding back from just kind of popping off on people because of like unwarranted whatever, I won't say sarcasm because I'm cool with sarcasm, but unwarranted attitudes. Like I didn't do anything to cause this, but it's interesting because I've also really found myself like, okay, what is going on with this person that this is their response to what I did? And more so thinking in that way instead of going, no, okay, let's be for real. My first initial, internal is like, what? You know what I mean? But that's why, you pause and you kind of process the situation and be like, okay, what is going on with this person? Because why was that their response? But it's just wild because there's been a lot of that this week. Yeah, it's been really interesting. So yeah, that is what I have for y'all this week. Let's see if Zaire will say hi. Zaire, can you say hi? Can you say hi? Say hi. Can you say hi? Say hi. Well, y'all heard him. All right. So as always, make sure you are taking care of yourself mentally. Make sure you are taking care of yourself emotionally and spiritually and physically. Be healthy in your relationships. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love y'all so much, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for...